There is no way he just said this. We got a big news report out of a star player that wants a lot of money, so let's get into it all right here. Hello everybody, welcome to Bills Digest. I'm your host, Anthony Senicar, and let's be honest, it is off-season time, so you know what that means. Tons of free agency news, tons of trade rumors, and tons of draft coverage, and we got you guys all covered right here at Bills Digest. The only issue is that 72% of you guys who are watching this video right now are not subscribed to the channel. Subscribe, join the army here at Bills Digest, because we got you guys covered for all your latest Bills news all off-season, so stay subscribed here for all your latest news. Well, guys, there is no way Jimbo just said this. The narrative going into the offseason was that the Bills had to re-sign James Cook. He has 1 year left on his rookie deal, and he is demanding a lot of money. The number going around right now is that of $15 million. He posted about it on his Instagram Live. He had it pinned as the top comment, which is pay the man $15 million. I think Dalvin Cook, his older brother, is in his ear telling him, hey, go get the bag. Running back lifespan is not as long. Look at Dalvin Cook. 5 years ago, he was one of the best running backs in the league. Not even 5, maybe even less. 2 years ago, he was one of the best running backs in the league. Walks away from the Vikings, is now not even on the team, is an afterthought for most fans. So he probably told him, yo, go get your money, go get your bag, go get your $15 million. And on the nightcap with Shannon Sharpe and Chad Ochocinco, James Cook came on and talked about his contract negotiations, and it was a very interesting comment as what he said. Take a look at this. Bills running back James Cook wants what he deserves to be paid with a potential contract extension. This is what he said. I want to go chase the highest of the highest. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to stand on what I stand on, and I don't want to feel like a cancer at all. Because I don't like all that attention and all that. That's not me, honestly. I'm just standing on business, and what I deserve, that's it, what I deserve. And like I said before, Cook is demanding $15 million a year. Interesting comment out of this is he doesn't want to feel like a cancer, and again, like we know, Jimbo is not one to enjoy the spotlight. He likes to stay in the shadows, do his thing, talk on the field with his game, and again, barely talk to the media. I mean, when the Bills got drafted, there was a whole watch of when Jimbo was going to smile. So again, not a big media guy. He talks straight up, doesn't talk with BS. You got to respect that. And you know what? Based off of this comment, the man wants his money, but he's not going to be toxic to the locker room like that of a quote-unquote Stephon Diggs. He's going to do his job, play week in and week out, and do his thing for the team, which is good to hear. Now, going off of that, $15 million is a ton of money for the running backs right now. I mean, just based off of Jimbo's production, it is not comparable to a $50 million contract. He ended out the season 207 rushing attempts, just over 1,000 yards rushing, 16 rushing touchdowns, averaged about 4.9 rushing yards per game. Played 16 games, missed 1 game. Again, in the NFL, reliability is the best ability, and especially for the running back position, Jimbo has not been hurt over a significant span. So again, he also was not a full-time starter at Georgia. So again, still lots of tread left on the wheels, which you want to see. He had 1,267 total yards, so just under 200 yards, or just over 200 yards receiving. 18 total touchdowns, so again, 3 receiving touchdowns and only 1 fumble all season with none lost, which again, fumble early on in his career was a big issue. Those total touchdowns could have gone up even more. Off the top of my head, I can think about 3 times where Jimbo had a touchdown in his hands, turned around too quick, forgot about the ball, ends up dropping it. So again, potential still to become an even better receiving back, and again, only at 26 years old, there's still tons of room to grow for Jimbo. But again, going back to the money talk, I looked at Sports Track to see what they projected Jimbo's money is worth, and that is $10 million. Now, that is a number range that I can get behind. And again, 26, I said 26, the guy's 25. So again, he's just getting to his prime. The running back prime, in my opinion, is about that of like 27 to 29. That is when you're going to get them at their peak of their powers for the most part. And again, if you get even more than that, that's just gravy on top of that. Now, again, $10 million is a respectable number, a number that I can get behind as a running back. The league is shifting back to having running backs be a big part of the offense. This Joe Brady offense has proved that running backs are what you need. I think Ray Davis is not ready to become that full-time starter. Ty Johnson is a very good third down back, but he's not a workhorse back. I think having the three-headed monster takes a little bit off Jimbo. Ray Davis, you're still going to have that rookie contract for 3 more years. So if we can get Jimbo maybe at 3-year mark, just so then Ray Davis is not the full-time starter. You don't put a lot of tread on him. You have Jimbo for those 3 years, and then once Jimbo walks away in free agency in 3 years, once that contract is up, then you got Ray Davis, who is still not a lot of tread on the tires, like I keep saying. I think if you get Jimbo at maybe 3 years, $12 million a year, I can get behind that. Meet somewhere in between. He's obviously demanding $15 million. I mean, the running back market right now, Jonathan Taylor is just under $15 million of $14 million. He's not going to get Christian McCaffrey money, $20 million. No. Saquon, who is arguably the best running back in the league, is not even getting $13 million. And I think Alvin Kamara, who's on the older side, you got to look at somewhere in between that David Montgomery to Saquon Barkley money. I think, in my personal opinion, if you're factoring in potential, worth to the offense, worth to the offensive scheme, I think $11.5 to $12 million at 3 years is the way to go for James Cook. You let him play out, you get him for those prime years, and then if it doesn't work out, or if he's not as good as he's projected to be, you can always cut him. You still have Ray Davis. I think you bring in another option, and you have him battle behind Ty Johnson. I think that's the sweet spot where you want to meet. Obviously, if you look at some of the names here, the likes of Joe Mixon, Derrick Henry, DeAndre Swift, these guys are guys who are top-tier running backs, especially the likes of Derrick Henry, and they're getting not even $9 million. Joe Mixon is about 28. DeAndre Swift's around the same age. Derrick Henry's over the age of 30. But again, he is aging gracefully, which you do not see with running backs. But when you're 6'3", 260-pound running back, you're going to age gracefully, and he's a Hall of Fame talent. So again, like I've said, if you're just looking at this list, I think he fits right in between that Saquon and Josh Jacobs mark. I think that he can maybe potentially take Alvin Kamara. He kind of takes that. He plays that Alvin Kamara role in this offense. A very good receiving back, a very good first cut back, very patient, kind of like Lev Bell. Makes his hole. I mean, the guy put on a show in that AFC Championship game. Should have been on that last drive, but again, I don't even want to go back to that. But if you're looking at the names here, McCaffrey's better than him, which you're not getting McCaffrey money. Jonathan Taylor, in my opinion, is probably better than him, and $14 million. Again, I'm not paying a running back $13 to $15 million when the Bills have proven track record of bringing guys in and getting them on cheap contracts. Look at Motor, look at Zach Moss, look at Jimbo, look at Ray Davis. They find these guys in the late rounds, and they work perfectly in this offense, especially with a very good O-line. He's better than Alvin Kamara just based off of age, in my opinion. Josh Jacobs and Jimbo, that's a tie. And then once you go into the James Conner, David Montgomery, Ramondre Stevenson, Joe Mixon, he's better than all these guys. Chuba Hubbard, again, I don't watch a lot of Carolina football. In my opinion, Jimbo is still better than him. You don't get all the way down to Derrick Henry, but Derrick Henry has age factored into that. So again, I think the sweet spot for the Bills and James Cook is not go for the $15 million mark, but if you can get him at 12 at a short term, maybe a 2 or 3 year term, then that, in my opinion, is the way to go. Again, if you got him at 4 years, you can always push money down the line. It could be a void year with a 4th year or blah, 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 blah. There's lots of ways for Brandon Beane to look at this, but I think the best bet is when you're growing talent as well as James Cook, you got to keep him. As much as money is a factor, the league is pushing more towards having a superstar running back. Look at the likes of Saquon Barkley and the Philadelphia Eagles. Philly was a good team last year. They bring in a superstar running back in Saquon Barkley and win the Super Bowl. You're seeing now the 2 high shell safety teams are taking advantage of that, running the ball a lot more. Look at the Bills with a top 5 O-line, having a top 5 rushing attack. Again, the Bills are always ahead of the curve, it seems like, on offense now. And I think re-signing James Cook is a crucial part in keeping this offense going. But let me know your thoughts below, guys. What do you guys think? Should the Bills give Jimbo his $15 million, or should they sit somewhere in between? Or do you guys think they should just let him walk or trade him this offseason? He's got 1 year left on his rookie contract, so it is not a pressing issue, but it's going to be a big talking point if it is not re-signed at the end of next season. But let me know your thoughts below. Should we trade him? Should we re-sign him? What do you guys think? Do you guys have faith in Ray Davis to be the full-time starter for the Bills? It is off-season time. We got you guys covered here at Bills Digest, so please subscribe. We're on the road to 200 subscribers, and every little bit helps. And like I always say, guys, go Bills.